How's it going, guys? So, there's kind of this, just 1 second. There's kind of this, there's a whole can of worms that I want to open up tonight, but to be honest with you, I don't even know where to begin. I really don't know where to begin. So I figure the easiest thing to do is just kind of lay out all the facts and lay out all the kind of conditions and all of the, kind of the things that we see before us, as like jigsaw puzzle pieces, and then maybe we can start trying to fit the puzzle pieces together. It might be the easiest thing. So, what do we know? We know that, the people that are talking about taking away firearms from people in this country, right? They only care when there's a school shooting happens, which is horrible in and of itself, but they only care about those things, those events, which happen. Let's say even once a month is horrible, right? But as opposed to a shooting of either a young black man, like a teenager, or a shooting of a black little girl or a black little boy in the inner city, which happens basically every day. It doesn't happen, more often than not, it doesn't happen in the hands of police, it happens in the hands of other of gang members, right? So these same people that are talking about or that are up in arms about the school shootings, they don't really care about those inner city events, right? Which leads us to believe which can lead us to believe that they're full of crap, right? That the people that are supposedly concerned about this issue of firearms are full of crap, right? Or they're just not terribly bright. They have what Jordan Peterson would call low resolution thinking. Guys, the other aspect is we do know, at least I know, that there are people out there, powerful people, who are engaged in something akin to what was done in biblical times, something akin to what was done 2,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago, 3,000 years ago, as it pertains to children. I'm going to straight up say it, child sacrifice. To Moloch. Everything we've seen for the past over 2 years, has been revolved around that. They told us they're not going to give the they're only going to give it to people. Sorry guys, I'm just like talking to my cat before. They're only going to give it to people 65 and over. And then all of a sudden they just started moving down and down. All of a sudden 55, 50, 40, 30, 18 and over, and then they got to children, guys. All of a sudden, again, this is a group of people, an age bracket where that if they even contract anything, there's like a 99.99999 ad infinitum survival rate, guys. Right? So, what are we talking about? So it leads us to conclude that there's something else here. That there's some kind of sacrificial element going on, right? So now, that's a second piece of the puzzle. The third piece of the puzzle is, guys, there's all this talk now of, police officers standing there and not going in for whatever reason, and parents yelling at the police officers, go in. There was even a parent who went in by themselves, right? Guys, where have we seen that before? We saw that before on January 6th, right? We have videotape of police actually letting in people. So basically, it's not like it's in that case, it wasn't police allowing a perpetrator to come in and shoot someone. It was more like police just not doing their job, or police. Here it was police allowing a perpetrator to do his thing and not letting anybody in. There in January 6th, it was people letting people in when they're not supposed to. Right? Again, doing things they're not supposed to be doing. Very strange. And you know, when people come up to them and talk to them, they're just kind of like, you know, it's almost as if they're like programmed, or I don't know what. Guys, I mean, again, it sounds like, you know, the C word, right? Schmuspiracy, right? All this sounds like it, but guys, I mean, like, let's think straight. Let's think straight. There are dark forces in this country. My friend Denise is saying, throw all the children in the water. They throw all the children in the water just like the Egyptians. Similarities reminds me of the story of Moses. Yeah, listen. Guys, the crazy part is that the guy who shot the shooter, the guy who killed the shooter, was an off-duty border cop. He was off-duty. Why should it be that an off-duty border cop is the guy that neutralizes the shooter here, right? The cops didn't do it. There was SWAT, I guess. I don't know. None of them did it. It was this off-duty guy. I don't know. Sounds like some sort of movie, right? Something out of like one of these Tom Clancy movies, guys. You know? Or I don't know what. Science fiction, whatever. Not science fiction, just like, you know, like one of these Denzel Washington movies, you know? Something's fishy here, guys. Something's fishy, something's odd. We know that there's all kinds of people that want to take away firearms from citizens who legally acquire them, and people who are not crazy, right? I mean, the people who acquire these weapons, who are not, you know? Yeah, that's another thing. They're not focusing on the fact that this guy was, I don't know, a cross-dresser or whatever he was. There's something off, you know? They're not focusing on that. All they're focusing is on the inanimate object that a person holds in their hand that has a bullet inside of it. That apparently, according to these people, has arms and legs and is sentient, and it can apparently shoot itself, right? Can set itself off, which we know is not the case, right? But guys, there's a lot of things that are weird, very weird here, and we know that these people are the people that want to take away these weapons. You know, look what happened in New Zealand and Australia. They were able to put people essentially in internment camps. Why? How? Because the people are not armed. Cops come to your house. No warrant, no nothing. Okay, come with us, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's just that simple. And we understand what happens in societies that take away people's firearms eventually, right? And a lot of people are saying, well, look at Europe. Look, you know, why can't we be like Europe? Ladies and gentlemen, you see what's going on in Europe. You see what's going on. And the people who want to do bad stuff, again, they will get their weapon anyway. They will get it. They will get it anyway, anyhow. They will get it from, I don't know, a Colombian drug cartel. They'll get it. They'll get it from MS-13. They'll get their weapons, guys. Sorry. Cat hair. My God. They'll get their weapons, guys. It's that simple. They will get their weapons. And so you take away, guys, I mean, it says it's a school. A school's a gun-free zone. It's like you might as well say, please, Mr. Crazy Person, in this case, cross-dresser guy, come and do what you do. My friends, I have a weird feeling that there are people who are engaging in sacrificial, I guess, ceremonies. They are probably taking some of these young people and essentially giving them something to do with mind control. And then this young person goes and does what they do. Guys, I mean, think about it like this. Barack Obama tweeted out something. He said something about the shooting, and then he mentioned something about George Floyd. What in the hell? My friends, I mean, again, apart from the fact that guns were involved, Actually, in that case, a gun was not involved. What in the hell does the George Floyd situation have to do with this? My friends, I don't know. There's something strange. There's something strange going on in this place. Guys, my friend Frank and I, we talk about it all the time. We spoke about it in one of the episodes, our podcast. We feel like we're in a David Lynch movie or show, like Twin Peaks or something, right? My friend is saying, did you know he seems like he's still president? Yeah, I mean, listen, for all intents and purposes, the person running the show ain't Biden. We know that. Okay? And we see that this is essentially what's happening right now, is essentially the third term. This is what Obama was dreaming of doing. All these policies, all these things that we see, that's what he was dreaming of doing. He dreamed that he would have another 4 years to do it in a third term, right? He just had Republicans stopping him half the time. He's doing it. Someone's doing it. I don't know, guys. But, ladies and gentlemen, you understand, and Frank said this the other day, that evil is doing what it's doing. I want to read to you an interesting post from a Facebook friend, and you guys will understand, because sometimes I just kind of like the language. Not even that I like the language, but sometimes I just kind of, it's difficult for me to put ideas together because, there's a lot going on. And just one second, I have to find, his name is written in Hebrew, so I have to scroll all the way down. 1 second. Or what I could do, I don't have Hebrew here. Crud. Okay, actually, wait, 1 second. Pause for station identification. No, do not have it. Okay, so now we'll just, we're just gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Scroll through my, guys, Bekitzer, a friend of mine, wrote an amazing thing explaining kind of the whole thing of what we're seeing before us from a deeper perspective. And what we really need to understand is that these crazy woke people, I think they're doing what they're doing. Oh my God, excuse me. Excuse me, oh my goodness. I think they're doing what they're doing primarily to get, not even to accomplish or to install a particular policy, but because they know they're going to get a reaction from the other side, right? So I just want to read to you guys something. Just 1 second. Come on, where's the Hebrew, guys? Here we go. Excuse me. This guy's name is Yeshayahu David Azriel. So he actually is a lawyer, or he went to law school in the States. So here he writes the following. Interesting, right? I'll leave you guys with this. Evil is the light, or rather darkness, and ignorance is the vessel. Evil cannot manifest without ignorance. Quote, my people were destroyed for lack of knowledge, not evil. We know what the left is, what the left wing is, but the ignorance of the right manifests the evil of the left. The Kabbalists, for this reason, understand the feminine principle to be more powerful than the masculine in certain regards. On the side of holiness, the feminine is the left side and the masculine is the right. Right? The other side, oh my God, excuse me, or side of impurity is a reverse mirror image. So the left is the power of evil and the right is the power of manifestation. I believe that the social engineers are purposely pushing degenerate policies not for their own sake, but for the reaction. How is the NWO to deal with millions of heavily armed right-of-center Americans? Recruit them to your cause of cleansing the earth of filth. the quote Antichrist, the Dajjal / Korach will come as the bearer of false light, as the answer to the filth, and a particular well-known group associated both with and without cause with the filth. We are witnessing the transition from decadent, degenerate Weimar to principled Nazi authoritarianism on a global scale. But we are now only reaching the zenith of degeneracy. Normies will welcome the reaction, and that's when the real horror will begin. Same script, same taxes, in my humble opinion. My friend, so basically what he's saying is that these lefties are doing this so that there's a reaction from the right side. It's almost like the what do they call that? The Reichstag fire principle, And then when the right side goes crazy, right, they can frame right wing as, white supremacists, right wing crazies, right wing wingnuts, this, that, da 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 da. It's a provocation, right? And that's when they clamp down with the authoritarianism. And on top of that, you could have authoritarianism from the right side, right wing side, right? So, my friends, see, it says, welcome the reaction, and that's when the real horror begin. So people like us will welcome the reaction, right? Both on the left and on the right. Guys, I mean, this is essentially what they're doing. They're doing these things as provocations. They're pushing the Overton window, right? But they're going all the way with just like insanity, right? Most of these Democrats, especially the older people who've been there for a while, they don't actually believe in this BS. They don't believe in the AOC stuff. They don't believe in the Ilhan Omar stuff. She's a spy. They don't believe in any of that stuff, guys. These people, these young people, are useful idiots. They believe in it, but these guys don't believe in it, right? And guys, I mean, you see, on top of that, they want these events to happen. They want these school tragedies. Again, if they cared about Dafka guns, gun violence, they would say, wow, we need to take guns off everywhere. We need to first and foremost go into the inner cities. Do you see them doing that, guys? Nope. As Greg Adams would say, they're not doing it. They're focusing on this quote-unquote low-hanging fruit, which is the schools, but they actually want the schools to happen. They want these school shootings to happen. They want it. They want it. The more, it's better for their cause, guys. Which is, they're not trying to keep us safe. They're just trying to take these guns away. And that's it, guys. Like I said, this Beto O'Rourke guy, right after he grabs your gun, he's going to send someone to your house who has a gun without a warrant. And when you're going to, you ask what the reason is, he'll just invent a reason. Ladies and gentlemen, you know history of governments. They can invent any reason for anything to come to your house and just arrest you, take you away. Really, it sounds crazy, right? Anyway, guys, just some thoughts. I don't know. For all I know, I could just be, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just looking at this whole situation, and there's a lot of strange things. And we know that we're in dark times, spiritually speaking. We are. And we know that there's going to have to be a lot of prayers and just a lot of soul searching collectively, individually. And yeah, guys, that's essentially the story. Guys, you know what's interesting? This is like an aside, maybe related. This entire day, there's been like a deer, a female deer, like Sound of Music, and a baby, her baby deer, like a Bambi, just walking around the house, like around our house, outside of our house. And they were in the backyard. And now, just, an hour ago, the deer was like here in the front lawn, to the point where our cat was like horrified. He was trying to get back in the house, and he was like horrified. He's horrified of anything bigger than him. And yes, and so my name is Tzvi, and I saw Tzvi, and just Tzvi is hanging out outside my house the whole day. And I'm thinking, is this a siman? Is this a sign? That Tzvi needs to go home. I mean, I'm going there to visit, but at some point, Tzvi just needs to go home. Tzvi needs to go home, Eretz Tzvi. Tzvi needs to go to Eretz Tzvi. Anyways, guys, that's just a little thing. But a lot of things happening on a spiritual level and a lot of darkness, and we have to fight it with light. That's the only way. I mean, we can't fight it. We have to just bring light, right? But as we're doing that, we can at least acknowledge that darkness exists and acknowledge that there's something odd going on. And we have to take action on it, right? We have to at least expose it. We can't just be like, oh, okay, school shootings, this. Maybe if we just get rid of all the guns, problem solved. My friends, clearly not. And clearly, looking at all the people who are pushing this stuff, guys, these are the same people who are involved in pushing the you-know-what for the past 2 years and harassing people and making fun of people and bullying people. And it's the same group of people, guys. Makes you wonder, right? Makes you wonder. And it all has to do with little kids. Anyway, guys, before I get too out there, and I'm going to let you go. All right. Shabbat Shalom. If I don't talk to you guys, and stay safe out there.